I'm Clinton Griffiths. As we wait to see if the Trump administration follows through with more tariffs in just over a week, farmers in Canada are wondering the same. On April 2nd, a 25% tariff is scheduled to go into effect on both Mexico and Canada. And over the weekend, the new Canadian Prime Minister, Mark Carney, called for a snap election on April 28th, saying he needs a strong mandate to deal with a possible threat posed by President Trump, who he said, quote, wants to break us so America can own us, end quote. Now, Farm Journal's Tyne Morgan recently traveled to Canada to get the viewpoint of our neighbors to the north.
Heading into this planting season, what are you most concerned about?
Tariffs, I think, are the number one issue between our nations, and all we want is to get back to our friendly trading that we've always had as neighbors.
Marie Chauvin, who goes by Mo, farms in Essex County, which is situated in the southwestern corner of Ontario. As a farmer, are you concerned about the current dynamics?
Absolutely. How can you not be? It's very concerning. Ontario farmers, we rely on a lot of inputs and important pieces to put our crop in the ground, and from the seed, fertilizer, chemicals, farm equipment, it can all be affected.
It's not just the tariffs possibly placed on the crops he grows this year, but also the retaliatory tariffs that could cause the cost of inputs he relies on from the U.S. to rise.
In my eyes, it doesn't. Nobody wins. All we'd like to see is have free trade come back, have some good long trade between our nations like we've always had.
The concern is being echoed by farmers all across Canada.
It's the unknown, and getting my crop on my own farm in a timely manner without any surprises as far as added costs. Margins are slim, commodity prices are low, so there's no room for error.
Jeff Harrison is the current chair of Grain Farmers of Ontario, but he also farms in Quinte West, and he says this trade war could be more devastating than the last. That risk is something Grain Farmers of Ontario is stressing the importance of to Canadian policymakers.
If we look at a trade war between Canada and the U.S., what we're coming from is decades of one of the best trading relationships anywhere in the world. And so I guess when we look at it, it's quite alarming to us that we're even in this situation, first of all. But certainly I think the risk is that we could erode decades of great relationships.
As CEO of Grain Farmers of Ontario, Crosby Devitt leads an organization that represents 28,000 barley, corn, oat, soybean, and wheat farmers across Ontario. And he says for Ontario farmers, it's the unknown causing so much angst.
One of the big areas of concern that I hear from farmers is machinery and machinery parts. So there's certain, a lot of machinery production in the U.S. that we rely on buying that equipment into Canada, but also parts. And so there's a lot of uncertainty around where the supply chain might go and how that's going to be affected.
One major difference between the U.S. and Canada during the last trade war was U.S. farmers received Market Facilitation Program payments, or MFP. Those were designed to help compensate farmers for the market losses they suffered. In Canada, commodity prices were hit just as hard, but there were no payments to farmers. It's farmers who were on the front lines of the last trade war, and GFO is concerned farmers will get hit hard again.
We don't know how to win a trade war, and I said before, we do know that Ontario and Canadian farmers will pay the price for that trade war along with our United States counterparts. But we need our government to know that retaliatory tariffs will hurt our own farmers. Good decisions need to be made.
Farmers like Chauvin hear all the noise, but are trying to focus on what they can control, and that's planting and harvesting this year's crops. But out of the three crops he grows, corn, soybeans, and wheat, he doesn't know which crop will be caught in the middle of a trade war this time.
Nobody really knows. I've been asking that question, and all crops are concerning, I think, because Ontario farming, I think it's a $6 billion export business into the U.S. Those are big numbers, and it's concerning.
But this Canadian farmer says in his mind, one thing's for certain: no one wins in a trade war.
Our concerns are the same, and I mean, we all, live to put the crop in the ground, and farming runs in your blood. Doesn't matter if you're American or Canadian, or we all want to put the crop in the ground and feed the world.